welcome to Grammar.Galore. This is Habibullah, an ESL instructor at TLA. Viewers, our today's topic of discussion is another parts of speech, which is adverb. Previously, we concluded verbs, different categories of verbs, lexical verbs, types of lexical verbs, auxiliary verbs, types of auxiliary verbs in the previous videos. Today we'll discuss adverb, another parts of speech. Adverb, the word, let's discuss the origin of adverb, that where the word adverb has originated from, where the word adverb has taken from in English language. So the word adverb is said to be taken from the Latin word adverbium. From the Latin word adverbium. It is originated from the Latin word adverbium, which means influencer. Now, what do you mean by influencer? Influencer means that it's a modifier. It brings changes in something. The word adverbium, the Latin word adverbium means influencer. So adverb acts as an influencer in English language because it influences the meaning of different words in English language. It modifies the meaning of different words in English language. So adverb acts as an influencer, as a modifier. Adverb today haga sar kaun kide, haga the bazu alfazu meaning ki changes rawali, tabdili rawali, mana badlai the bazu alfazu English language ke. Dosa kaga the mung influencer wayo asar kaun ke. Now, the word adverb is divided into two parts, like the word add, which means to include or to insert, and the word verb, which means action. So, it means to include or to insert some changes to the meaning of action, to the meaning of a verb in English language. Adverbs today, commonly the verb meaning changes rawali. How? Suppose I say that he speaks loudly. How he speaks loudly. So loudly is an adverb. It's an adverb. It brings changes to the meaning of speaking. Speak is a verb. If I just say that he speaks al khabari kai, now we don't know how he speaks. Tarz unta pata nashta. So chikala mun adverb pa istemal ko daga verb pa tarz ke pa meaning ke changes rawali. Like he speaks loudly. How he speaks loudly. Sanga khabari kai, tezi khabari kai. So this is how adverb acts as an influencer. An adverb inserts or includes changes to the meaning of an action or a verb in a sentence. Now, what is this is the literal meaning of the word adverb. Now, there are two definitions of adverb here that we are discussing. The first one is that adverbs are those words which modifies the meaning of a verb, an adjective, and sometimes another adverb. Adverbs have alfaz thi chara, the verb meaning modified kai, the word meaning it changes rawali, the adjective meaning it changes rawali, the adverb, the double adverb meaning, khpala yo adverb, double adverb meaning it changes rawali. Like how, for example, I say he drives. Now, he drives. Drive is a verb. If I just add an adverb to it, so it will change its meaning. If I just say he drives, aga gaadi chalai. Aga chalai. How? We don't know. But if I add an adverb, it changes the meaning of this verb. Like if I say he drives carefully, so it answers the question how. How in sanga driving kai, ihtiyat sara driving kai. This is how adverb changes the meaning of a verb in a sentence. Adverb also changes the meaning of an adjective in a sentence. Like the weather is, if I just say the weather is hot, the weather is hot. Mosam garam hai. Now we don't know the degree of hotness, the level of hotness. But if I add an adverb, it shows the level of hotness, the degree of hotness. Like the weather is very hot. Mosam der garam hai. So here hot is an adjective, very is an adverb. It changes the meaning of this adjective here. It modifies the meaning of an adjective in a sentence. Mosam der garam. So the word very brings changes to the meaning of adjective part. Now, sometimes adverb also modifies another adverb, like they slept too early. But if I say like they slept early, we don't know how much early. What is the degree of earliness? So, but if I say that they slept too early, so too is an adverb, and early is also an adverb. So one adverb modifies the meaning of another adverb. This is how adverbs act as an influencer, as a modifier. Are those words which changes or modifies the meaning of a verb? This is how it is done. An adjective, this is how it is done in another adverb. This is how it is done. Another definition by linguists, grammarians, is suggested that adverbs are those words which answers the question when, where, how often, and why an action happens. Adverbs daga sawalun ka hum jawab barke option kala sanga cherta so zali awwali option shawi. So an adverb answers all these questions. Like if I say the class starts at 6 p.m. So when the class starts at 6 p.m. So here at 6 p.m. is an adverb of time. Adverb of time. It answers the question when. That when an action happens. Next, they found in the stadium. In the stadium. Where they found Chetawi Janguke in the stadium. In the stadium is an adverb of place. It answers the question where. It shows that where an action happens. Similarly, if I say that he shouts, he shouts, how? Loudly. So how? It's an adverb of manner, which answers the question how. That how an action happens. Now another one, we take grammar class twice a week. Now twice is an adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency. It shows the repetition of an action. It answers that how often this action happens. How often an action happens. So adverb answers how often as well. So he went to the hospital because he was sick. Why he went to the hospital? Because he was sick. So this because here shows the cause. To this effect, it answers, it's an adverb of cause. It shows that why an action happens. So adverbs answer these questions as well. That when, where, how often, and how often and why an action happens. These are all about the definitions of adverb. Next we have positions of adverbs. Position of adverbs indicates that where adverbs can be placed in a sentence. So adverbs can be placed in three positions in a sentence. The first one is that usually adverbs are placed at the end of a sentence, which are commonly used. Like majority of the time, frequently we use adverbs at the end of a sentence. For example, they flew to UAE last week. So last week is an adverb. It's an adverb of time. It indicates that when they flew. When they flew, it indicates when an action happens. And it is used at the end of a sentence. So usually adverbs are placed at the end of a sentence. They can also be placed at the beginning of a sentence. When we place adverbs at the beginning of a sentence, they are used mostly for the purpose of emphasis. When we put emphasis and modify the whole sentence, we put adverbs at the beginning of a sentence. Like proudly, we won the game. So here proudly is an adverb. It is placed at the beginning of a sentence for emphasis. And it modifies the whole sentence, the meaning of the whole sentence. Proudly, what happens? We won the game. Luckily, he won the lottery. So here luckily is also used as adverb. They are called as comment adverbs. Normally they come at the beginning of the sentence. The juble pasal ki hum istemali ki, akhir ki hum istemali. Sometimes in the middle of a sentence, adverbs ko the juble means ki hum istemal like he emotionally left the class. How he left the class? Emotionally. So emotionally is an adverb. It's an adverb of manner. These are the positions of adverb where we can place adverbs in a sentence. At the end, beginning for emphasis, and sometimes in the middle of a sentence. Next is formation of adverbs. How adverbs are formed in English language. So the first rule is that sometimes an adverb is formed by simply adding ly to some adjectives. By adding ly to some adjectives. Like for example, I just say careful. So careful is an adjective. When I just add ly, it becomes carefully. So adverb is formed by just adding ly to an adjective. Similarly, we have wonderful. So wonderful is an adjective. When I just add ly, it becomes an adverb. So sometimes we just add ly with some adjectives to form adverbs. Number second, sometimes sometimes adjectives or an adjective ends with e. So we delete e or drop e and add ly. Add ly. Like for example, I say simple. So simple ends with e. It's an adjective. It ends with e. We drop e and add ly, and it becomes simply. Now an adverb is formed by adding ly to an adjective that ends with e. We drop that e. Another single. So we just drop e and we say singly. And we form an adverb. This is how we form adverbs in the second way. The third way, some adverbs ends with y. Some adverbs ends with y. We change y to I. We change y to I and add ly. So, like how, for example, we say happy. Happy is an adjective. It ends with y. So we change y to I and add ly, and we form adverb. Happily. Similarly, angry ends with y. We change y to I and add ly to form an adverb. Angrily. So I just change y to I and add ly, and I formed an adverb. This is the third way of forming an adverb. Some adjectives, the next one is some adjectives ends with y. So we do not delete y because of its spelling rules. بعض adjectives شدي y سره ختم شي. هغه y مو نه delete کوو spelling combination د وجنه, and we just add ly. And they form adverbs like shy. Shy is an adjective. It ends with y, but because of its spelling combination, we do not delete y, we just add ly. We say shyly, and we form an adverb. It is like the opposite of the previous formation or rule, where we deleted y and we changed y to I and added y. Here we do not delete or change y to I, we just add ly to that adjective and it makes an adverb. Next rule is that some adjective ends with c. Ends with c. So we add ly to form adverbs. Like how we say basic. It ends with C. So we add ly to form adverbs like basically. So it ends with C and we add ly to form an adverb. So some adjective ends with double L. Here we just add Y to form adverbs. Like full, it ends with double L. So we just add L and we just add Y to form an adverb. Some adjectives some adjectives act as an adverb when they are followed by a verb, another adjective, or an adverb. So they act as an adverb. They neither take suffixes nor prefixes, like hard, well. These are those adverbs which acts as an adjective as well when they are followed by a noun, and they act as an adverb as well when they modify the meaning of a verb, an adjective, and sometimes another adverb. They neither take suffixes nor prefixes. This is all about the formation of an adverb. All best of luck, viewers. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for further videos.